want to talk a little bit about gratitude. I have had an interesting year, and I think it's true that a lot of us have had an interesting year, or two, or three, or 5, or 10. It's been a time. A lot of people are hurting. There's been a lot of loss. And in light of that, what I once understood as a sweet little practice to have every day, a nice little way to check in with all of the gifts I have, turned into a much deeper and a much more meaningful practice. Part of how that change occurred for me was in losing my dad. I had watched him struggle with living most of my life, but there were really wonderful moments of joy and love that I'm so grateful that I got to share with him, and that he imparted into me my sense of humor, my playfulness, and a willingness to kind of make fun of myself and of the things in life, that I could have really let take me down, which, looking back now, knowing a bit about what he struggled with and having been there when he passed, it's a bittersweet recollection of seeing a knowing in him that those things were important enough that he did them himself and he shared them with me, but somehow he struggled to allow that to permeate his whole being and his whole life in that way that, I guess, in the way that I'm trying to now, which is to give myself permission to be me, to be silly, to be loud, to make this video and believe that I have something to share, that even if one person, connects with it, it's worth it. And so my gratitude practice now is really connected to the fact that he doesn't have any more days to engage in this life, the life he shared with me and my mom, to explore that permeating out. And so, and I've lost more people than just my dad. And with each of those losses, I feel deep sadness, but in knowing that they don't have today the way that I have it, it feels like my duty to live today, being me, finding gratitude, feeling a fullness, because I don't know if I have tomorrow. And if I don't have tomorrow, I really want to live the crap out of today. um, and I'm not saying that our practice of gratitude needs to come from a place of like feeling bad that we're alive where others have passed. I hope that's not what you're hearing. It's not what I'm meaning. I just mean, for me, gratitude first comes from the acknowledgement that I woke up today, and that's a gift. It's a snow day here in Vermont, and everything's really beautiful and quiet, and that's a gift. I'm staying in a home that's not mine, but is being shared with me by a dear friend. And my partner this morning made a fire, and so it's warm. I have a voice that I'm able to speak with and share it with you. I have a phone that is complicated in terms of my gratitude for it, but it does help me communicate, and I try to find the most healthy ways to utilize it for connection, and that's a gift. And so things are hard. Difficult things have certainly happened in my life, but what motivates me forward is that I keep being given days. And I could dread those days. I could have anxiety about those days, and I do, depending on the day. But since my dad passed, and now I feel him with me and in me as I live out my days, I allow gratitude to be part of the lesson I've been given through all the gifts and through all the loss. It's a lesson for me of just how precious this life is for each of us. And the harder part is for me to hold how precious my life is. The idea that I am precious. That I, holding an awareness and moving with intention, am good. I can manifest words and actions that are good, and it's not even by way of effort. I can allow myself to be good in this life, and so that hesitancy that I feel some days to be, that nervousness I feel, that I might accidentally do something bad, that withdraws me from my life, that withdraws me from inhabiting me, my body, my mind, my heart, this day. Pulls me away from the access I have in every moment to what gratitude can create. And so for me, in this moment, gratitude in a huge way is creating the life I always dreamed of. I learned to be a little scared of life from my dad because of how he was hurt. And I get it. And also, I don't know how many more days I get. And at this time and place in the world, I feel like it's very important to do something every day. And for me, sometimes the hardest thing to do is to just be and to feel good about who I am. To have gratitude for myself and for my life. And so some days I just start there. I'm so grateful my dad was the dad I had. I'm so grateful that I feel him with me every day, and that part of this knowing I have right now is as a result of what I said to him right before he died, which is that we'd never be apart because we're a part of each other. And so in losing him, though I feel immense grief and wish he could be here physically, I feel such gratitude for our relationship. And that lesson expands out so that every loss I experience, every pain I feel, I hold and I honor and I turn on all sides, because somewhere in that, every time, is something for me to be grateful for, even in the ability to experience it, because I'm alive. The feelings may be painful, but I'm able to feel them. That is a gift. So, those are some of my thoughts on gratitude today. Thank you for listening, and I'm curious how you feel about gratitude, how it's been a source of beauty in your life, and where maybe it's been a little hard to connect with, because I think that is true for all of us at some point. So, thank you so much.